Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome and thank you for joining us for our Real Talk series. This is our second session of this Real Talk series, and we are so happy to have you join us this evening. Um, the Real Talk is co presented by the Ministerial Health Alliance Fellowship, also Middlesex County NAACP branch, the Middlesex Health Women's Wellness Fund, and sponsored by the Community Foundation of Middlesex County, Sari A. Rosenbaum Fund for Women and Girls, and we are very grateful for their support. I want to thank our planning committee, um, and their names are up here for those of you who are on the phone. We have Reverend Robin Anderson, myself, Barbara Wade Holloman, Faith M. Jackson, Amber Kapoor, Sarah Moore, Judy Omphroy, and Catherine Rees. And what a great team to work with. And tonight's evening is co-hosted by me, Barbara Wade Holloman, and Catherine Rees. Catherine, if you could just wave. We had a great time working together. And we are so pleased to be joined by our guest speakers, Dr. Gulati and chefs Rita and Mark Barham. And also we are featuring a presenter, Judy Umfroy, who will be sharing a mindfulness moment at the beginning and end of this session.
So good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are so happy to have you here and to be here celebrating strong women. Just some friendly housekeeping items as we move through our session tonight. If you would please mute your audio on Zoom or mute your phone. So we are recording the session. You all have the option to opt out on the poll that should appear on your screen. If you could please use your chat function to share feedback and to type in any questions. And we're hoping that you stay to the very end. We are going to work very hard to stay within an hour because we have a drawing at the end of our session today as well. Right, Barbara, passing it back over to you.
Thank you. So to start us off, Judy Umfroy is going to do our mindful moment. And I just want to tell you a little bit about Judy. Judy is a certified group fitness instructor and a registered yoga teacher who holds certifications in a variety of related disciplines, including yoga for all, yoga for arthritis, pre and postnatal fitness, and dynamic mindfulness. Her classes are designed for all ages and body types with a goal of improving heart health, strength, and flexibility with an emphasis on mind body connection. Judy believes that movement is essential to both physical and mental health, and that mindfulness is essential to safe and effective movement. Tonight, she will lead us through a few energizing mindful movements. Judy?
Hello and welcome. Thank you, Barbara, for that introduction. So we're going to get started. Let's get started and get focused on today's meeting and get energized for this presentation. Thank you for coming. I'm going to ask you if you're on the phone, if you can still participate. Just sit up in your chair if you're sitting in a chair. And if you're on Zoom, of course, you should be able to see me. And can everybody see me? Because I'm still seeing the slide. Is everybody? Oh, okay. I still don't see me. Is everybody seeing me?
Yes, we see.
Yes. Okay, good. Because I see Barbara. All right, good. I just wanted to make sure. All right, excellent. So, nevertheless, anybody can participate, whether you're on the phone or whether or not you're in Zoom. Just, I'm going to ask you to sit away from the back of your chair and sit up tall with a long spine. Make sure you have some room. You might want to move your chair back a little bit so that you have some room to move your arms. But that's all we're going to do. We're not going to be getting up. And then I'm going to ask you to place your one hand on your belly and another hand on your chest. And then I'm going to invite you to close your eyes or just gaze down at your lap and just breathe. And I ask you to breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. And come into your body, not focusing on anything but your breath. Maybe even focus on your nostrils as they open and as they close. Notice your chest and belly expand as you inhale and contract as you exhale. Notice the warm air that comes out as you exhale and the cool air that comes in as you inhale. And get centered and focused, sitting up tall. Don't change anything, but just notice your body. We take it for granted. We're always up in our heads. And if you notice any sounds, you're self-talking to yourself about things, or you hear sounds around you, it's okay. That's normal. But then just notice it and then come back to your breath. Come back to your inner focus. And let's take one more breath here. And then let your arms come down to your lap and open your eyes. And hopefully we all feel more centered in the room. But now let's get rid of some of that stress in our neck and in our shoulders. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, again, sitting up tall, taking a nice big inhale. And as you exhale, just gently look to the right. Don't stretch anything, just look to the right. And then as you exhale, come back to center. And then exhale to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, look to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale back to center. Now exhale, look down. Let your chin come towards your chest. Inhale, look up. Don't go too far, but look up. Exhale, look down. Just warming up our neck. And inhale, come back up and look up. And come back to center. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. Let your shoulders relax. Inhale up. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. And inhale up. Back to the other side as we exhale. Inhale up. And to the other side. Exhale. Inhale up. Nice job, everybody. Now I'm going to ask you to, let's warm up, take some of the stress out of our shoulders. We hold a lot of stress in our neck and shoulders. So I'm going to ask you to bring your shoulders, squeeze them up towards your ears, and then let them, as you exhale, let them roll back and down. And now inhale, bring them up towards your ears again. But this time as you exhale, let them roll forward and come back. Beautiful job. So now our neck is relaxed, our shoulders are relaxed, and now let's do something to energize ourselves. So we're going to lift our arms up in the air as we inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to bring our elbows to our sides and we're going to say, yes. Beautiful. Bring your hands back up. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Exhale and say, yes, I'm ready for tonight's session. Inhale, bring your hands up. I am energized and focused, and bring it down as you exhale. So we are all set. We are ready, Barbara. So I'm turning it back over to you.
Oh my goodness, what a mindful moment. Woo, let me do that one more time though. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you so much. And now, this is a real talk series. And so we don't want to just talk to you. We want you to talk to us. It's a conversation. So in the chat room, if you could put your name and share with us your favorite family dish or recipe. And you could just use the chat, and it's at the bottom of your screen for those of you who are on Zoom. And I'm going to put mine in. And I know we have chefs on the line, and they have their business and they do this thing called flipping the fork. I'm not sure how you can flip my favorite dish. It's meatloaf and mashed potatoes, and only made by my mother. So I don't know how to make that happen, but that if you could do that, I'll definitely be down there to taste test for you if you need anyone to do that. And so we'll give you a few minutes to do that. And let's see. My mother's dressing. That's Andrea. Cheryl, tomato sauce. Um, Dr. Gulati, spicy red kidney bean curry. Wow. Tanya Oliver Perry, chicken and dumplings. Whoo, I'm getting hungry now. Reverend Anderson, 5 flavor pound cake. Oh my goodness. Melissa, honey curry chicken and cornbread. There are so many. Reverend Kim, mac and cheese. I'm wondering if it's yours, Reverend Kim. So there's many, and Catherine and I will read some throughout. And I just don't know why B&B Wings and Things did this to us, but vegan shrimp, isn't that interesting? So we will hear more as we go through the evening. And Catherine, I want to turn it over to you to do our next part. And please keep it coming. Brenda, BBQ ribs. Woo! This is a good menu.
Yes, I'm getting hungry too. Oh, Philly cheesesteak sandwiches made by my husband. That's lovely. From Caroline Doyle. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Mahima Gulati, who will be sharing information with us tonight on lifestyle medicine. Dr. Gulati is board certified in endocrinology, diabetes and metabolism, as well as internal medicine and lifestyle medicine. Dr. Gulati leads the lifestyle medicine program here at Middlesex Health and has published articles and book chapters on topics related to women's hormonal health, reproductive and fertility disorders. Dr. Gulati co-chairs the reproductive health subcommittee of the American College of Lifestyle Medicine and has been an expert speaker for professional organizations, national conferences, community and public events, on virtual platforms and podcasts on the joy and gratification of lifestyle medicine. And with an emphasis also on reversing type 2 diabetes, also on thyroid health. So Dr. Gulati, we are so thrilled to have you here with us today. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can all see your wonderful presentation. So just give me 1 minute to do that. There we go. So hopefully everyone can see my screen. Thumbs up. Yeah, perfect. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Catherine. Thank you so much, Barbara. Thank you so much, Sarah. All of you, thank you so much for having me here. It is truly an honor. And can you hear me okay? Is my voice okay? All right. So let's get started without any further delay. By the way, amazing recipes. I'm hungry too, and I just had a full dinner. So I just wanted to, talk about lifestyle medicine. I know the topic today is nutrition, but lifestyle medicine is a very, up and coming discipline of study that actually studies the science behind how we lead our lives and how that impacts our health and our well-being. And there are 6 pillars to that. Diet is obviously one of the big ones, but also, our movement or our physical activity, our sleep patterns, our restful, restorative sleep, our mental resilience, our emotional resilience, our mental health. So that's basically mindfulness or, being present in the moment. Obviously not doing risky substances like tobacco or excessive alcohol or recreational drugs. And last, but my favorite pillar is social connections and how, we interact with the world around us, not just our families, but also our workplaces, our friends, our neighbors, our, community at large. And, the science behind these behaviors in our life, in our day-to-day, moment to moment being, and how we, how those basically behaviors affect our age, our lifespan, our longevity. That's what lifestyle medicine is all about. So it's hardcore science. And let me, Catherine, if we can progress to the next slide. So why lifestyle medicine? I don't think anybody here would put it, I'm just curious if there's anybody in this room who does not have a acquaintance or somebody who's not known, maybe even within their family, somebody who doesn't suffer from a chronic lifestyle related illness like high blood pressure or overweight or diabetes or even things like cancer or autoimmune diseases, right? It's kind of, I think you would be exceptional if you don't know a person afflicted with one of these chronic illnesses, right, in the modern world. And so our lifestyle really is the bottom of the pyramid when it comes to our health system, right? What we do in everyday lives really impacts our health more than anything else, right? Talking about nutrition, which is the basic crux of the meeting today. Do you guys know how much food on an average, an adult person eats in a year? Any guesses in the chat box? How many pounds of food do we eat every year? One person every year. Do we have any guesses? 10,000 pounds. Well, that's a little bit off, maybe a little too much, but 2,000 pounds. 2,000 pounds of food per person a year. Now, do you know of any other substance that we put in our body in that much amount? Really nothing, right? There's nothing else that, would. So imagine how would something that we put in our bodies to the tune of 2,000 pounds a year not affect our health, right? So, and the same thing with the way we move, the way we sleep or not sleep, right? So all of these behaviors really are the bottom of the pyramid when it comes to our health. And then the remaining things that we truly do in the hospitals, right, like physiology or medicines and prescriptions and surgical procedures, those are on top of what we do day to day, right? So that's why lifestyle medicine, it's important to know the science, right, to know the data about what is healthy and what's not, right? What is the real diet? Is it keto? Is it South Beach? Is it paleo, right? We need to know the evidence behind these things, because this really is what founds our health, right? Next slide, Catherine. So I would like to elicit a little participation from our room here. I want you all to, reflect a little bit for 15 seconds, Judy walked us through in her excellent mindfulness session. Why do we want to be healthy? What is it that motivates us to be healthy? I'd just like to know a few responses. What spurs you to be healthy? To have more energy, I see, playing with my kids, live longer, enjoy life to the fullest, live better. I want to extend my life, maintain physical health. Those are excellent, excellent motivations, right? We all want to, be happy, be fulfilled, have energy, really live, right? That's amazing. That's amazing. Yes. So I think, be around for my family. We want to give our best, right? We all as human beings, none of us wakes up in the morning to, oh, I can't wait to be miserable, right? We all want to be vital. We all want to have boundless energy, positive energy. So always remember why. When it starts with the why, then it becomes easy to do the what and the how and the when, right? As long as we remember our why. So, this why is very, very key. And always have that at the bottom of your heart. Judy says to be able to move and have the ability to give my best, right? Yes. And that's, I think it is plenty evident here that, we really can help a lot more. We can give a lot more. We can really do a lot more in our limited time in the world if we are healthy, right? In the best of our health that we can afford or have, right? So remember that why always. Next slide. So I'll cut to the chase. I'll talk about diet a little bit because I also want to talk a little bit about the other pillars. I have a slide each on one of them. This concept of food being our medicine, or really the bottom of our pyramid, is very important. I'll tell you why in the next slide. Why we think food is medicine. Why modern science is really starting to get there. Next slide. So this is the reason why why we should eat healthy, nourishing, whole foods, unprocessed foods as Mother Nature made them, right? All these colorful, chemicals in the vegetables and fruits that make them this bright color, right? This attractive color. Like, the blueberries, they have anthocyanins that give them that blue color, that pigment. Or the carrots, they have beta carotene that actually gives them that orange color. Or chlorophyll and indole chemicals that give the green leafy vegetables their beautiful dark vibrant color. These pigments are actually medicines, right? These are nature's medicines. In fact, so many scientists want to extract these chemicals and put them in a tablet or a capsule, and use them in vitro lab studies to kill tumor cells, or to enhance immune function, or to um, enhance brain function, or increase mental faculties and decrease the risk of dementia, etc., right? You will not believe how many patents and interests there are right there. So the thing is, nature has given us her medicines in the form of these whole foods, right? And we should treat that as sacred, right? This is what um, is real power. And when we discovered that what lies at the end of our fork is and 2,000 pounds of it a year, right, is truly gonna impact our health, either in a positive salubrious medicinal way, or if this is colorless decadent food, right, processed food, ultra processed foods that are made in factories and packaged in brightly colored boxes and packages, then that's possibly gonna hurt our health, right, our body cells. So next slide. And same thing, bright rich colors, and these are a laundry list of all the chemicals that we are trying to, I guess some of these you can actually find in health food aisles, right, like lycopene supplements or quercetin supplements or curcumin supplements that are known to have anti-inflammatory properties and antioxidant properties. So yeah, believe in the power of the medicine contained in foods, brightly colored, rich, healthy, wholesome, whole foods, right? Next slide. So a healthy plate should look really colorful, like a rainbow, right? As many colors as we can get. And I'll, maybe ask you guys to, when I go to the next slide, just, make sure that we have at least half of our plate has brightly, richly colored various fruits and vegetables, not just, lettuce and tomato every day, but, a diversity of vegetables and fruits and different types of grains, not just wheat and rice, but other things like amaranth and quinoa and barley and steel cut oats, etc. Same thing with lots of healthy plant-based proteins, ideally, because that's a big shortfall nutrient in our typical standard American diets, right? Western diets, we don't do a lot of legumes and nuts and seeds, and we should eat kidney beans, chickpeas, black beans, split peas, etc. So next slide. And this is, a little bit about the concept of calorie density, which is, how much does a 500 calorie look like in terms of satiating us or filling up our stomach? So that tube right there, that's our stomach. On an average, a stomach can hold up to 900 milliliters of volume at a time. And, the stretch receptors of the stomach wall, they will be able to sense how full our stomach is, right? And as you can see, if we eat real whole foods with lots of vegetables and fruits, our tummy will distend because it has a lot of fiber, a lot of water, and it is light on calories. And it's rich in antioxidants, phytonutrients, vitamins, and minerals, right? So we get a lot of nutrient and calorie bang, nutrient bang for calorie buck, right? By eating vegetables and fruits and plant-based healthy whole food diets like potatoes, sweet potatoes, squashes, rice, and beans, right? And then things on the left of this slide, the oil or the cheese or the meats, those are more laden, all kinds of ultra processed foods are more laden with calories and don't satiate us as nicely. They're not as much volume for the calories, right? So next slide. All right, so this is, that healthy plate. And if the audience can, pick at least one item from each list that they would like to make a healthy plate with, right? And so just play with permutations and combinations, things that you think would make a great, I don't know, nourished bowl or a healthy plate. Just, to give you an idea that healthy food is so tasty and delicious, and it doesn't need to be a punishment, right? It doesn't need to be boring. It doesn't need to be, tasteless. Do I have any recipe makers here? I would love to see which beans are the popular beans, huh? Or legumes and nuts too. Unless, of course, if some of us, we may be sensitive to nuts or allergic to nuts. And mushrooms, right? I don't think we eat enough mushrooms. So pick one or pick two, I don't know. Try one from each. It's kind of like a buffet. Try one item from each. All right, I have the first one from Barbara. Zucchini, quinoa, spinach, onions, black beans, broccoli, mushrooms. I love black beans. Oh, black beans are popular. Catherine has black beans too. Avocado, quinoa, cilantro, beets. I love cilantro. Broccoli, walnuts, white button mushroom. Andrea says orange, corn, cabbage, beets, green beans, broccoli, cashew. Nice. See? So this is, just a little bit of an idea how we can get adventurous in our kitchens, in our dining rooms, and really try a lot of more, variety than we otherwise would, right? Really diversify our palate, our gut bacteria, the microorganisms, and there's eggplant and cashews and green beans. Okay, so black beans and green beans are popular. I would have thought garbanzo beans, but black beans take the cake. There you go. I have chickpeas. All right. So yeah, just play with the healthy whole foods, play with the colors and the, textures and the flavors. And think of this as a nice, like science culinary experiment. In fact, culinary medicine is really coming up in, all the big ticket hospitals and cafeterias across places like Harvard and Stanford, etc. So yeah, I think we'll go to the next slide. But yeah, I just wanted to give you an idea about how we can have fun with food. And I think Rita and Mark are gonna demonstrate that in real time. So I'm sorry, I kind of rushed through the diet part, but I didn't want to hog all the time. I also want to talk just one slide about mindfulness, which, Judy did such a great job energizing us and at the same time giving us that Zen peace, right? And bringing us to this talk, switching off from our, otherwise crazy days. I love this slide. This says, in mindfulness, the fastest way to get from A to B is to be fully at A. And I think, it really is such a, like sort of a, what do you call it, a reckoning or a realization, right? To be present here in this moment, rather than, trying to do what am I planning next, or, waiting for Saturday on a Monday, right? That's not what life is about. And, just being present wherever we are, with our family when we are with them, with our workplace when we are at work, is, a practice that I think I would encourage all of us, a skill that we all should practice daily, and, really try to learn it in order to live more fulfilling lives. Next slide. Sleep cannot cannot understate the importance of sleep. I really love this meme. Have you had enough sleep last night? Yes or no? And it's clear, from this response that this person has been sleep deprived, right? I thought that was hilarious. So, by the way, did you all know that, sleep deprivation of like just a few hours, a couple nights in a row, can actually be tantamount to like having a blood alcohol level of a certain amount, right? So if somebody has been chronically sleep deprived for like 3 or 4 nights in a row, they slept like 4 hours a night for that much time, their mental functioning, their reaction time will be as impaired as somebody who had a very significant alcohol level in their blood. Think about that. That's actually the science. And, the amount of inflammation and immune damage that sets up in our bodies by sleep deprivation of even just a few nights cannot be understated. Sleep deprivation is perhaps one of the biggest pandemics of our time. And so really, treat that 8 hours at night as sacred time, honor our sleep, because those 8 hours at night really set the stage for what will happen in the remaining 16 hours of the day, right? So just wanted to let you know that our sleep really impacts our health big time. Our risk for diabetes, our risk for strokes, our risk for heart attacks, our risk for cancers, etc. And next slide. Movement or exercise. So I just, I had to, just have one meme each slide. So how I feel when I see new muscles, it's, the best one I could find. But, really, I was, I've done a lot of polling here, so I'm not going to poll you guys again. But I was at this conference at Harvard, and, the speaker asked, why do you exercise? Why do you, go out there in the, sunshine or in the woods and, you take a hike or you run or, you do biking or you dance? Is it because, you don't want to get heart attacks, 10 years down the lane, or is it because, you want to lose weight? And that was not the answer. Every single person said they exercise, they move because it makes them feel happy, right? So exercise or physical movement, I should say, is the single most underutilized antidepressant. Just that euphoria that comes just from like what Judy did with us, moving around, really pepping up, really, feeling the rhythm, right? So I just want all of us to, no matter what, how busy the day, just imbibe a little bit of movement, make sure that we're not sitting for longer than ideally 20 to 30 minutes, but no more than 60 minutes at a time, taking a little bit of a walk, stretching, maybe doing some jumping jacks, and really, enjoying the whole, having fun while we do that. So that's the power of exercise. And next slide. I think I should be done now, right? Social connectedness, of course, my favorite pillar. How did I forget about that, right? And I think this circles back to what we all, saw in our responses when I talked about why we want to be healthy, right? This is from a paper from, 12 years ago, Circulation. It's a very famous cardiology journal. And, here the authors, they talk about prevention in the United States. This is 12 years ago, by the way. The current path leads to increasing adiposity, means weight gain, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and disability, and unfit, socially isolated population. So that's the reason why I put it here. Socially isolated population, stuffed with pills and subjected to frequent palliative procedures, right? So think about it, that, that creating a system where, this wouldn't be the case, right? And, we all know that sometimes, having disease or being bound by certain limitations, right? That can lead to such social isolation, right? And so social connectedness is the pillar that really brings everything else together, right? Love is the reason that, makes us really thrive. And so really connecting with people, not making sure that we're not isolating ourselves, making sure we are talking and connecting if we need help. And that really cannot be understated. Loneliness is the single biggest crisis today. So, yep, that's it. I think I'm done here. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Gulati. We appreciate all the information that you shared with us this evening, and I'm sure we'll have several questions for you. And if you do have questions in regards to the presentation or for Dr. Gulati, you could put it in the chat, and Catherine and I will visit those questions. And if we have time before we leave tonight, we would like to share those questions with you, Dr. Gulati, and perhaps you can answer them. If we don't, we will still take the questions and we will email responses to you at a later date. Okay. And so at this time, again, we thank you for your presentation. At this time, I'd like to introduce our next presenters, and that is Rita and Mark. Rita and Mark are the owners of B&B Wings and Things on Main Street in Middletown. Mark, the meat eater, holds a degree in culinary arts and has over 20 years of experience in the culinary industry. In 2017, Marc decided to focus completely on his vision of launching a quick service restaurant, and B&B Wings and Things was born. Rita, the vegan, works alongside Marc and has an amazing knack for putting a vegan plant-based spin on favorite dishes, and I am a witness to that being true. Rita is a certified integrated disability and absence management professional, an advocate of employee work-life balance and leave of absence rights. B&B Wing and Things is a quick service restaurant dedicated to excellence in preparation of their food, quality of service, and providing food for every groove. And just that part leads us right into our third series, and we'll hear more about that later, the word groove. Guests can count on receiving the freshest ingredients and food prepared from scratch. Please stop by B&B Wing and Things to enjoy a delicious meal. And with that being said, Rita and Mark, it is now in your hands.
Thank you. Greetings, everyone. Hello. Hello. First, we'd like to thank all of the sponsors and presenters for this opportunity to show you guys how we flip the fork. So flip the fork is a concept where we put a healthier and or vegan plant-based spin on favorite dishes. So today we're going to flip the fork on a honey barbecue ranch rice bowl. So we're going to use grilled chicken in place of fried chicken. We're going to brighten up the dish with some colorful veggies, and we're going to trade high carb white rice for cauliflower rice. So throughout the demonstration, we'll provide helpful hints on how you can save time and cost, and also how you can flip your own fork by turning this into a plant-based vegan meal. So are you guys ready to flip the fork? Just give me a little hand wave. Let me know you're ready. All right, all right. So first, let's review our list of ingredients. So pre-measuring is a great way to control your portions. Prepping also helps to cut your cook times by eliminating the need to stop and grab ingredients from the refrigerator. We've all been there, right? Where you're running back and forth to the refrigerator trying to grab all of your ingredients. I know I'm always there in B&B. So for the chicken and veggies, we have 1 pound of boneless, skinless breast, which is about 2 breasts. Now, if you were using plant-based chicken, you would have about 2 cups of chicken. So that's a plant-based or vegan chicken. Now, we have our honey barbecue sauce and our ranch dressing. Now, you can purchase vegan-friendly honey barbecue sauce, which no real honey is used at B&B Wings and Things. However, you can use any commercial brand. Now, if you're using a commercial brand of barbecue sauce, you want to look for a commercial brand with no sugar added and low in sodium. Commercial brands can tend to be pretty high in sugar and high in sodium. So again, if using a commercial brand, you want to look for low sugar, low sodium brands, or you can simply make your own. Now, we also have our canola oil. We have our 2 cups of cauliflower rice. Now, helpful hint, most grocers have riced cauliflower available in the produce section. You can also save time by using frozen cauliflower. Now, anytime you're using frozen vegetables, be careful not to overcook your vegetables, as overcooking them can compromise the nutritional value in some instances. Now with cauliflower rice, you can also make your own cauliflower rice. So you simply take a head of cauliflower, chop it up, including the core, add it to a food processor, and put it on a pulse setting until it resembles rice. Now, if you do that, you want to be careful with the pulse setting because you can mash it and you'll have cauliflower mash instead of cauliflower rice. So if you're going for cauliflower rice, don't pulse too much. If you're going for a cauliflower mash, pulse that baby until it's mashed out. We also have our zucchini, which has been washed and sliced into 1/4 inch rounds. We also have 1 red bell pepper, which has been washed, seeded, and sliced. We also have 1½ cups of cooked corn, and we also have 1 avocado, which has been sliced and peeled. We also have salt and pepper to taste. We also have a seasoning blend. Now, you can use any seasoning blend, your own favorite little concoction, or you can use any commercial brand. Once again, if using a commercial brand, be mindful to choose one that's low in sodium, no salt added. Commercial brand seasoning really packs on the sodium. So really, really be mindful of that. Look for one that has no salt added. We also have our canned black beans, which have been washed and rinsed. Now, here's a little disclaimer. Canned beans often get a bad rap. And that's because most commercial brand canned beans are loaded with sugar and salt and other harmful ingredients. So if you're using a canned or boxed canned beans, you want to look for beans that are simply beans, meaning no sugar has been added, no salt has been added, and it's not packed on with harmful ingredients. So that's our ingredients list. So now that we have our ingredients out of the way, let's get to cooking. So I am fortunate enough to have a husband who loves to cook. So I don't have the dilemma of having to cook all the time. So we're gonna start off with Mark. He's gonna be our chef du jour for today.
How much money do you need?
I'll pay you in love and kisses and hugs. No? Okay, so for donations, you can cash out the chef. No, we're just kidding. So first we're gonna start with the cauliflower rice. So Mark's going to add his oil to the saucepan, and that's over medium heat. Next, he's going to add the rice. Hopefully you guys can hear that sizzle. So he's going to stir that frequently and let that cook for about 3 to 5 minutes or until golden brown. Now he's going to add a chicken broth. So if you are turning this into a plant-based or vegan meal, you would use a vegetable broth in lieu of the chicken broth, or most health food stores have a vegan or plant-based alternative to chicken broth, which is super good. So again, if you're flipping your fork to make this vegan or plant-based, you'd use a vegetable broth. So now we're going to add our black beans. I love black beans, so I'd add all of the black beans in there if I could. And so we're just going to stir that around and let that cook. And then here's where you'd add your salt and pepper to taste. So again, not to go overboard, you don't want to be salt bay as you're cooking your food, but yeah, just a little sprinkle there. And so you're going to get that cooking, and then once that's cooked to a golden brown, you're going to set that aside and let that rest. So you guys know what I'm having for dinner tonight, right? So add that to a bowl. Again, let that sit. it smells so good. It smells so good. Okay, so as that's sitting, we're now going to start with our veggies. So again, you want to add just a little bit of oil to your pan.
Out of the pan. I hate burnt pans.
We hate burnt pans. So Mark's going to begin with sauteing the vegetables. We're going to start off with our red bell peppers. And you're going to just cook that for about a minute or so. Again, you don't want to overcook your vegetables. So just a quick splash in the pan for about a minute or so. Next, we're going to add our zucchini. And again, you want to just cook it really a quick flash in the pan, not too long. And guys, it smells amazing. And then last, we're going to add the corn. So again, the corn, you just want to put it in the pan for about 1 to 2 minutes, not too long. Just enough to get a nice little crisp on there.
I like my corn.
Yeah, you don't want to overcook the corn because again, you want to keep it nice and light. And you want to get all those great nutrients in your
Don't
vegetables.
try this at home.
We're just showing off for you guys. So now you're going to set your veggies aside. And we're going to make our chicken. So now as the vegan here, I have to just give a disclaimer. Choose the plant-based chicken. It's great if you season it well. You can't tell the difference, I promise you. Season it nice and well using your own seasoning blend, but I'm not a vegan snob, so I won't go there. If you're using the chicken, at this point, you're going to just season your chicken a bit using your seasoning blend. And you're going to cook your chicken, flipping it once until it reaches an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit.
Don't go over 165.
Don't go over 165 because you don't want to overcook your chicken and have a real rubbery chicken. Don't undercook your chicken. You definitely don't want to do that because the bathroom will be your best friend. That stomach will not like that chicken under 165 degrees. So again, the only way to truly tell whether your chicken is done is to ensure that it reaches an internal temperature of 165 degrees in the thickest part. So a food thermometer is the only indicator of cooked chicken, not your eyes, not a timer, but an actual food thermometer. So once that chicken has reached an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit, you're going to set your chicken aside to rest on a plate. Now, a little disclaimer here. Mark, as a professional, likes to just get to cutting that chicken right off the bat. Us regular folks need to let it sit for a while because if you start cutting the chicken while it's still hot, you can burn yourself with the steam. If using a plant-based vegan chicken alternative, you want to cook that chicken as directed. So now that we have our veggies cooked, we have our chicken cooked, now we're going to slice the chicken. Slice the chicken. And you can slice it up however you desire. So if it's in chunks, in nice little slices. Really up to you and how you best want to cut the chicken. Here, we're going to cut the chicken in just strips right down the middle.
As I call it on the bison.
Or as he calls it, on a bison. As common folks, just slicing it. So now it's time to assemble our cauliflower rice bowl. So now we're going to start with our black bean cauliflower rice. And you just want to get like about a 3 to 4 ounce scooper of the rice and place that in a bowl. Now you're going to decorate your own plate by coloring up your plate with your veggies. So here you can have fun and assemble it however you like. So first we're going to start off, Chef, with, we'll start off with the zucchini. It looks so good. Add the red peppers. So now we got a little bit of red light, green light action going on. But we'll get the ticket, huh? And then we're going to add the corn. And then we're going to top that off with the avocado. So good healthy fat there to balance out our plate. Now the piece de resistance, we're going to flip it with some dip and put a little dip on there. But first, we're going to add the chicken. And now we're going to drizzle it with our honey barbecue sauce. Top it with some ranch dressing. And voila.
I'll show you guys.
There you have a barbecue rich chicken, cauliflower, veggie, and rice bowl. This is so nutrient dense. It is so fulfilling. It's awesome for any season. You can enjoy this at home. It's super easy to make. So we hope that you enjoyed our flip today. We want to encourage you to make this healthy version of a rice bowl. So we ask that if you decide to make your own flip, that you take a picture of your concoction, your flip, your dish, and use the hashtag #FlipTheFork and tag us on Instagram at B&B Wings and Things for your chance to win a B&B Wings and Things gift box set. So again, we hope you enjoyed our flip today. We enjoyed presenting this to you. This is one of our personal staple favorite dishes at home. A little interesting fact, when I first became vegan, my children were still school age. My husband was super supportive, so it was a collaborative effort for us to go vegan. But we had many nights that were hit and miss. So to make it very fun for us and going into a more healthier plant-based lifestyle, we would get together as a family and have a vote night. So all of the recipes that we would try out, we would take a vote on whether to keep, repeat, or delete. There were many recipes that made it to the delete pile, and everyone would call in a pizza order, but there were so many that were keepers. We'd like to share that everything that you see on the B&B Wings and Things vegan side of the menu, including this flip that we did today, is one that made it to the keep pile. So again, we hope that encourages you to take your own flip of some of your favorite dishes and help make a healthier alternative and or vegan plant-based meal. So thanks again to the sponsors and presenters for this opportunity to show you how we flip the fork. Again, we encourage you flip your own fork. Thank you so so much. And now we're
Thank
going to turn it back over to our presenters and hosts. Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Well, Rita and Mark, thank you so much. That was absolutely amazing. I think we're all about to get in our cars and drive over there. And just a plug for B&B Wings and Things. The food is absolutely delicious and amazing desserts as well. Please, we invite you all to go over to stop by and to say hi to Rita and Mark and to just enjoy their amazing, wonderful food. So thank you, Rita and Mark. That was wonderful. So just we have some closing thoughts. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen just a minute so we can get to some final announcements. Okay, thumbs up. Everyone can see the screen. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So we have our next Real Talk next Thursday, May 13th, and Amber is going to be putting in the link into the chat for anyone who hasn't registered. This is Getting Your Groove On, Moving with a Purpose. We're really excited to have our speakers get us up and moving. We then will close out our series with a gathering on May 22nd. It's going to be an outdoor gathering. We will have a trail walk or beginners Zumba. We're also going to have goodie bags for the first 50 registrants, and they're really great. There's good stuff in there. So if you haven't registered for that, we are also including that. That's the same link that Amber just put in the chat. The same link will take you to a newly launched, we're very happy to announce, a web page that for our team, for our Real Talk team. It's kind of a one-stop shopping where you can register. Ultimately, you'll be able to get recordings of each of our sessions. We encourage you to share them with your friends, with the other powerful and wonderful women in your life. Rita and Mark's recipes for what they cooked today and what they prepared today have been posted, and other bits of news will be posted up there as well. So please check it out. Oh, okay. And now this brings us to our raffle. So we have a barbecue basket, and in this basket there is a $50 gift card to B&B Wings and Things. There is also the honey BBQ sauce that Rita was talking about, and another wonderful sauce. It's a Thai ginger sauce that is in the basket as well, plus some other things that would be helpful for barbecuing and grilling. So we've put the names of all the attendees in a wheel. So I'm going to just get over to that wheel and we will spin the wheel. Oops, here we go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and spin the wheel, and whoever it lands on will be our winner. Nancy. Nancy, you are our winner, Nancy. Congratulations. So we will make sure that we connect with you, Nancy, and so that we can ensure that you get that basket. Okay, so let's go back to presenting. And then actually I'm going to stop sharing because Barbara, I'll pass it over to you to close out with Judy.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Rita and Mark, and thank you, Dr. Gulati, again for everything this evening. Everything flowed together, and both presentations made me hungry, but they also made me want to eat better than I have been doing. So thank you both. And I hope that everyone took away some valuable information tonight from all of our presenters. We thank you for taking the time out this evening to be with us. And we don't want you to leave us right away. We want you to enjoy the closing mindful moment with Judy. And again, we invite you to join us next Thursday for our third session of the Real Talk series. Thank you again. And Judy, it is now in your hands. And Catherine, thank you for co-hosting. It's been wonderful.
Okay, do I sound good? Can you hear me? Okay, great. All right, everybody. At this time, I'm going to invite you to lean back in your chair. It's time to relax. So just sit back in your chair, feet flat on the ground. And again, let's practice what we did in the beginning. Let's close our eyes or gaze down and notice your breath. Feel your body expand and contract as you inhale and exhale. And let's start to relax our body. Let's start with the top of our head. And feel if there's any tension there. And as we inhale, we notice the tension. And as we exhale, we try to release that tension. Let's try to come now to our eyebrows, the forehead. Inhaling and exhaling any tightness that might be there. Inhaling down through our nose, our eyes, the muscles around our chin and our mouth. Relax your tongue away from the roof of your mouth and let go as you release and exhale. Coming down to our neck and our shoulders, the upper back, our collarbone. If you feel any tension there, breathe into it and release. Let it become heavy. Let our shoulders become heavy. Our back leaning against the chair. Inhale into the torso, our belly, our middle back, our lower back. And exhale and let it all go. Inhale into your arms. Feel any tension that might be there in your hands, your elbows, your muscles, your joints, your fingers. And let your hands be heavy on your lap. Arms be like ragdoll arms where they just have no life to them because they're so relaxed. Come to your hips and your thighs. Allow your buttocks to be heavy on your chair. Let gravity take over and hold you up. And relax. Inhale into your knees and your shins and your calves. And exhale and let your legs, your whole leg now be relaxed. And finally come to your ankles, the top of your feet, the bottom of your feet and your toes. Nice inhale here and a nice soothing, relaxing exhale as we blow air right out of the tips of our toes and the heels of our foot. And now let's come back to our breath. Focusing on our nostrils opening and closing. Belly rising and falling, chest rising and falling. Noticing external sounds and thoughts and then coming right back to your breath. And relax. Take one more breath here. I hate to bring you out of it, but I'm going to ask you to open your eyes in the interest of time and come back into the room. Sit back up in your chair. And we are done. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
Judy, thank you so much for closing us out.